My name is John Edmonds Cosma. I'm the CEO of Bang Productions, and welcome to the Unimpressed Podcast. Today we're going to have on DJ Slim McGraw. We're going to talk about his history in the DJ world. We're going to go out, play around the golf. We're going to discuss COVID. We're going to discuss how he hooked up with Luke Combs. We're going to discuss his live shows during COVID and Miss McGraw and what she brings to the table. So stay tuned. This is the Unimpressed Podcast. Out here filming a podcast, the Unimpressed Podcast. We're at Greenbrook Country Club here with the famous DJ Slim McGraw, the resident DJ of Luke Combs out here in North Caldwell, New Jersey, with Slim, hole number one.
Feeling good. If I don't pull my hair out today. My name is Slim, but my golf shots are fat.
What the heck is that? How you doing?
I gotta win somehow. I gotta win somehow.
We got to keep an eye on Slim. He cheats.
Finding out who the real cheater is over here today. Oh, Mr. Bang Productions.
This is Live Life Work. Playing out here with DJ Slim McGraw. We're going to go over some things today about, how COVID has affected his business. What we're trying to do to make up for it, finding different ways of making money, getting him some opportunities, DJing. Headed to hole number two.
Hole number two. John's up one.
Easy, very easy. Got to swing easy.
Grip it and rip it. Hear that ball leaving? It said, ow!
Slim cheats like hell.
John 2, Slim 0. I need some more phone calls. Some more people need to call him and get him distracted.
Hello.
Is this Darren Knight, a.k.a. Southern Mama?
It is.
I need you to hop on the phone with him and get him all riled up, because that way he starts playing bad and I can come back and win. And I told Catfish Cooley, call him and distract him. Yeah, every 10 minutes I need you to call him with a problem.
That's funny shit.
Been talking all day. Slim cheats like hell in golf. We're out here at the beautiful Greenbrook Country Club here in North Caldwell, New Jersey. And, we're trying to figure out some stuff. How's Slim going to make money moving forward in this pandemic era of 2020?
Normally I DJ about 3 or 4 nights a week, and when I get home, the last thing I'd want to do is set up my equipment and DJ again. But since COVID, I've been setting the equipment up in the backyard and playing some of the biggest crowds I've ever played in front of, with Bang Productions sharing my live feeds and getting me out there.
So we're going to swing this golf club a little more, and then we're going to sit down and do an interview. This episode of the Unimpressed Podcast.
Hey, one more thing. If Slim cheated, I would be winning if I cheated.
Here we are today with DJ Slim McGraw. I met Slim through Cletus T. Judd. That's when we first hooked up, and he's been working with the Bang family for about 2 years now.
Yeah, 2 years.
Tell me what's going on. When we first started, we kind of put together a variety show with Cletus and Darren.
Yes.
And then we saw how you brought energy to the table. Comedy is about energy, getting the fans going and so forth. And when I saw, how the fans responded at the first couple of Cletus shows, I was like, hey, let's try to implement this DJ thing into our other tours. And here we are today, 2 years later. Is it 2 years later?
Yeah.
2 years later, Slim's still around, and I don't know, Slim, tell us a little bit about yourself, where you from, and how you got into DJ business. And
yeah, I was born and raised in Charlotte, North Carolina. I've been DJing about 20 years. Been DJing nightclubs, music festivals, a couple small tours, and back home in Charlotte, I've been the resident DJ for Dale Earnhardt Jr. for the past 12 years, and at Epicenter. And then this last 2 years, I've teamed up with Bang Productions, and I've been in the comedy business, which I never thought I'd do, but man, it's been a bunch of laughs. It's been a great time.
Me, you, and Cletus hooked up. Cletus had some ideas, and I know you had some names, some DJ names.
Yes, we did.
Before you hooked up with Cletus, and then you changed your name with Cletus to DJ Slim McGraw. And tell us about that little evolution of name changing.
Well, Cletus is known for doing his parodies of country songs by changing the words and making them funny. So we thought it'd be cool if I had a DJ name that was a parody of a famous country singer. And for about a month, we were just throwing names out there like Conway Liddy or either Billy Rage Cyrus, and none of those fit. And then we came up with Slim McGraw, which is a wordplay of Tim McGraw. And it just kind of fit. Cletus has some heavy set jokes, so we thought it'd be funny if my name was Slim and play off that as well.
So now it's DJ Slim McGraw, and tell us a little bit about your evolution, before you hooked up with Cletus. Tell us a little bit about what happened, getting hooked up and involved with country music, and going from doing clubs in Charlotte, North Carolina, which I'm originally from North Carolina. I'm originally from Nashville, North Carolina, so we have the North Carolina vibe going on. So tell me a little bit about that. How did you move from club scene at Whiskey River, Dale Earnhardt's Bar, to country music and get involved in that whole marketplace?
Well, 5 years ago, buddy of mine started a festival in Myrtle Beach called the Carolina Country Music Festival, and that was my first actually full-on first country event, and I just fell in love with the people, the atmosphere, and it's just grown from there. Every year I just expand more. I'm getting booked in Vegas now to do country shows. So, I mean, the country business has been just great to me over the last 5 years. And then it led to Cletus, and it's led to you, and it's led on some other big things coming up next year. And
now, who did you work with within the country music space? Who's some of the DJs, others in that space, and who are they affiliated with?
Well, I'm really good friends. For the past 15 years, one of my best friends have been DJ Silver. And he's been Jason Aldean's DJ for the past 10 years. And I'm also good friends with DJ Sinister, who's been with Big and Rich for God knows how long now. And a bunch of other guys I've teamed up with. And then when I go to Nashville, I DJ at Florida Georgia Line has a club there called FGL House. And Luke Bryan has a spot there called Luke's 32 Bridge. And I also play at Jason Aldean's rooftop bar, and they're all on Broadway right there in Nashville where all the tourists are.
So what is, when you do some of these festivals and so forth and working with these big acts, what's that like? Opening for a Jason Aldean or, a big country act, what is that like?
Well, it's a lot different from playing clubs and doing concerts, because at a club you have 500 to 1,000 people indoor, intimate, and then when you do a festival you have 30 to 40,000 people. So it's a little bit getting used to the different crowd response there, and you play songs a lot quicker at the festivals to keep the energy going. And because really people aren't dancing, they're mainly just facing you and hands up and singing the song. So I try to keep the music really going at the festivals compared to the clubs.
Now, you said there's DJ Silver, who's a big DJ in country music. You've kind of established yourself as one of the top guys in country music. And hooking up with us, I think gave you extra visibility, been doing shows with Southern Mama and Cletus T. Judd. And that led to a big opportunity before COVID hit with Luke Combs being his resident DJ. And I know there was a lot of shows scheduled. I know he had sold out Madison Square Garden twice. Mm-hmm. He sold out the Boston Garden. COVID hits. And that didn't happen. Tell us about how did the Luke Combs deal come about, and tell us where we're at right now with COVID, and how are you going to deal with that moving forward?
Well, going back to DJ Silver, like I said, he's been with Jason Aldean for 10 years. Well, he did the Luke Combs tour in 19. Luke did a small tour. But in 2020, he was going to have to do the Aldean tour at the beginning of the year, and he was going to have to do the Kane Brown tour the second part of the year. So that left the door open on the Luke Combs tour. So he thought I'd be a perfect fit, since Luke's from North Carolina, and I'm from North Carolina, and both of us lived in Charlotte. And it just all worked out. And I was really excited to get the year going. And then all of a sudden COVID hit, and everything's been shut down and postponed to 2021. And it's taught me a lot of patience to finally get a gig like that and have to wait another year. But hopefully everything's going to work out, and it's going to be a great year next year.
How much do you usually travel before this COVID thing hit?
We were traveling about every week. I mean, we were traveling about every weekend up until this COVID thing. The last 2 years, that's what I've really been focused on, is traveling around America and getting my brand out there. And that's one good thing about hooking up with Bang Production. And y'all's fan base is real country oriented, so it just overlapped with the country music just perfect. I mean, it's the same fan base. And just being, getting exposure from y'all has been great.
Well, I think, going back to the Luke Combs thing, the anticipation, would you ever think that you would have an opportunity to play in a Madison Square Garden? And what is that anticipation like? Even though it didn't happen because of COVID, what is that anticipation like for a DJ coming from the clubs, getting involved in country music, and then having an opportunity with one of the biggest artists in the country or in the world right now?
Yeah, he's
a phenom. He sold out his whole tour, I think, in 2 days. And now obviously they're readjusting those shows because of COVID. But tell us, what is that growth like and anticipation like for someone in your position? Because DJs are it's a very unique, it's a very unique job. I mean, that's all I can say. It's a very unique job, and I would think there's not a whole lot of opportunities out there to make a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you get from club, country music to Luke Combs?
Well, I tell you, I mean, it's about talent, but it's also about your relationships and building relationships, not burning bridges over the years, and just being easy to work with as well. Just being somebody that's fun to work with. And that's one of the things when I was getting the Luke Combs gig, they asked DJ Silver, is he just fun to be around? They're looking for somebody who's just a good person to be on the road, not going to have any issues with. And it's just all worked out, man. It's been a long road, and I didn't see some of this stuff coming. And like you're talking about the Madison Square Garden gig and stuff like that, that stuff was never on my bucket list. That's the stuff you don't even think about. So it's something like that is put on you. I mean, the excitement is just crazy, and my anxiety was getting up just because I was ready to go do them. I mean, and then now we've been put off another year, and like I said, it's just taught me a lot of patience.
COVID has taught a lot of people about patience. And how do you adjust? This is one thing, is when you have a plan, you have a 6-month plan, you have a 12-month plan, COVID's thrown into the mix, stops everything. This is something people got to realize. I think you got to get out there, adjust to the new world. It happened. It's not going away. We can't dwell on the negative. We still have to live our life. We have to move forward. How do we move forward, and how do you survive? How are you surviving, and how are we moving forward, and how are we adjusting? How's that schedule for Luke changed, and everything else in your life?
Well, with the Luke Combs thing, all the dates are pretty much the same. They just pushed them off 1 year to the following year, but pretty much all the dates are the exact same. But the main thing that COVID made me do is open up opportunity to, normally after I DJ 3 or 4 times a week, the last thing I want to do is set my equipment up home and DJ. But after about a month of COVID, you and me talked, and we were like, let's set up the equipment and DJ live. And I started setting the equipment up on my back deck, and we called the series Backyard Beats. And then Bang Production shares it with all of our comedians, Darren Knight, aka Southern Mama, Catfish Cooley, and Andrew Kahn, and Red Squirrel, and Gerard, and Gary, and Carol Ann, and Gora, and all them. You see on their pages. And now I'm playing some of the biggest crowds I've ever played in front of. I was used to playing in front of a few thousand people. Now I'm DJing in front of 150 to 200,000 people right in my backyard. So that would have never happened if it wasn't for COVID. So like they say, everything happens for a reason.
Yeah, that is one thing. Me and Slim always talked about how to market a DJ. I was like, should we make series, episodic content? I didn't know. And then when COVID hit, the green light went off, and all of these virtual opportunities came about, and it's actually helped your numbers grow because of it. So, maybe this COVID thing is a blessing in disguise, and maybe the value when we come out of this thing and getting back to somewhat normal, maybe it'll be even better, because the visibility's bigger, the opportunity may be bigger, your value and you as a DJ may be more. What are gigs like right now? Are they few and far between outside of the lives?
Yeah, they're few and far between. The ones I have done have been mainly during the daytime and outside with a lot of room for people to social distance. So it's been nice getting home earlier. And then it also helped lead to the gig that I did up in Tulsa, Oklahoma at the Hard Rock Casino a couple weeks ago. We flew out there and we did a virtual reality show where I DJ'd in front of a camera, and they streamed it through the casino. So, people are trying to get back to normal. People are ready to get back to some good music and getting out and having some good times.
Yeah, I know a lot of people are pent up, being stuck in the house. There's a lot of negative energy out there. I think we have to look past that. Look past the negative, look for the positive. That's how I'm trying to live my life. That's how we're trying to move forward. And we talked about the live shows, and we went out and played some golf, which y'all see that little segment on golf, and how Slim, we got the tiebreaker coming up. We played the past 2 days, and we got a little segment on that in a podcast, so stay tuned for that. You married, love life, what's going on with that?
No, I'm not married. I've had a long-time girlfriend, and she's actually been my backup dancer in the Backup Beats DJ series we've been promoting. And on the series, she goes by Miss McGraw, so a lot of people get that confused and think we are married. But no, we're not married. We have been together about 4 or 5 years. But that's just her persona, Miss McGraw, when she gets on the camera. She's a little shy.
Cool. The views, when Miss McGraw is on camera, the views are increased a little more. I'm not going to say why, but the views do increase.
You're not supposed to let her know that. You're not supposed to let her know that, John.
So the views do increase. Entertainment right now is going through a lot. There's a lot of changeovers. People are getting laid off. A lot of things are unsettled. So hopefully moving into the new year and getting out of this thing and determining what direction we need to go, hopefully we'll start to define that direction moving forward. But yeah, glad you came on, Slim, to be on the Unimpressed Podcast. And we got round 3 today in golf, and we'll see who comes out the winner.
I just want to appreciate you bringing me on and everything you've done for me the last 2 years. You've taken my social media to the next level.
Cool. I appreciate that.
Banged it out.
I banged it out, got it done. Hey, the sun shines on a dog's ass every now and then. We work hard every day. We work 10, 12 hours a day to try to get it done. So check us out, the Unimpressed Podcast, DJ Slim McGraw.